All right, wait. Guys, listen. Okay, now we're ready to start.
Hold on.
Dialed in now.
Let me open my beer.
Yeah, got to open up the cold one when we are with the boys. That's like tradition around here. And that's definitely going to be the intro. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Nerd Meltdown. My name is Jack, and I'm joined today, as usual, by my frequent co-host, because I don't have any other friends. Help. We got Jesse Tiv. How you doing?
Doing great. How we doing?
Doing fantastic. And of course, we got Andrew. Andrew, how you doing?
Good. How about you guys?
Fantastic. And today, quite a substantial amount of stuff to go over. We're going to be all over the place. Games, movies, esports, kind of our usual web of interests. And a lot to go into. And the first place we are going to start, because apparently I am cursed to constantly have my opinion of PUBG instantly turned over the moment I say anything remotely positive about them, came out this week that apparently says January. PUBG, the corporation behind PUBG, Bluehole, has been in the process of filing a copyright lawsuit against Epic Games, the developers of Fortnite, because the Battle Royale game mode in Fortnite apparently is too closely related to PUBG to be legit. And this is frustrating on many levels because I just got done giving them a lot of credit for taking a very firm stance on something that's a legitimate issue, which, you know, being the Steam market, abuse, items, the economy, the gambling, right? And I thought, you know, this was like a very solid showing from the dev team to take that stance. And then Brendan fucking Green, dude, player unknown, this guy is such a fucking joke. Just every single time he says something, I just understand how shitty of a person he is. And this is entirely his work. It's just a joke. I don't understand how he could even think that he has like a basis for a copyright claim against Fortnite, because while, you know, obviously they're both battle royale games, you put the two side by side and they are so fucking different, it's ridiculous. What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, first, I think you should maybe kind of explain what they're suing for. They're suing for basically IP, intellectual property. They're saying that Brendan Green is the sole creator of Battle Royale, so nobody else can make a Battle Royale game, which is an absolute joke.
Oh, total joke. I mean,
that's the basis of the lawsuit, correct?
Yes, it's also copyright. What's that, Andrew?
I mean, it's just a game style. I mean, how can you copyright an entire style of game?
Dude, it's straight up, it would be like if Counter-Strike went after Call of Duty for having search and destroy as a game mode. Counter-Strike does not hold like the concept of bomb defusal as a game mode hostage, right? That's just like not how that works. Because at the end of the day, game mode is such like a small factor in what defines a game from its competitors, right? Like Fortnite, you know, love it or hate it, is vastly different in pretty much every regard from PUBG. And, you know, a lot of this came about because, you know, a while back, basically you wind the clock all the way back to when Fortnite BR came out. PUBG, PlayerUnknown came out and said that he was really disappointed. He didn't like that Epic Games had made this Battle Royale game because PUBG licensed the engine Unreal 4 that Epic Games produces. So PlayerUnknown's must have been pretty butthurt that a studio that they had licensed work with had created a competitor to their own game. But to take that so far as to file a lawsuit because you're scared of the competition is just like, it's so fucking ridiculous, honestly.
It seems freaking stupid to me. I mean, oh my god, how much better does Fortnite do versus PUBG, like numbers wise? Any idea?
Way snowball. More. It's the most popular game in all of history.
Yeah, by a wide margin.
I could tell. You log on to YouTube, that's half the damn videos you see are Fortnite videos. I understand.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, well, the other thing is, it's like you can't make the claim that you are the first person to ever do Battle Royale because there was an extremely popular mod on Minecraft called Hunger Games, and it was literally Hunger Games Battle Royale. It is Hunger Games, last man standing wins. It is the definition of Battle Royale, so there's no way you can say you're the first person to ever do Battle Royale.
Not even, dude, unless you're going to claim that Notch was wrong. I mean, and I wouldn't do that. Notch has a lot more money than you do. It's not a good idea.
And the slippery slope. I mean, okay, let's say they take it to court and they win. That means any battle royale game that's ever made will owe Brendan Green money. There's no way that this flies in court. No chance.
Even ones that came out like 20 years ago. I mean, any kind of battle royale game, regardless if it's even online or if it's just like like sitting there playing with your friends. A battle royale game is a battle royale game, regardless. You can't copyright the damn type of game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like there's no doubt, right, that Brendan Green took that genre. It was originally an Arma mod back in the day, and he was part of the lead design team behind H1Z1. Then he started his own company and created PUBG. So he is kind of like the godfather of what we know as modern BR. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, PUBG has so many issues, so many imperfections, and so much like lack of polish, and it's been out longer than Fortnite, and it just seems like the head of development
anything that's not a Supreme PC.
Yeah, optimization is terrible, server lag's terrible, the general gameplay still clunky, hit reg is atrocious. Like, the issues with PUBG are the exact same from launch. They're just kind of like slightly better than what it was at launch, and the game is slowly but surely losing players. It's been falling down the Steam charts consistently for months. And you think that the focus of the entire company would be in improving their game. Because I'll take this stand right now, and I have no shame in doing so. I think that if PUBG got their shit together, it would be the better game. I think there's more potential in PUBG than in Fortnite, just by the basis of how the games are designed. But you got the head of development.
You'll just never trump a free-to-play player base.
Right. Well, okay, player base aside, I'm talking about like quality of the game.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a better game. I just don't think right now it's a better game.
Yeah, it's just like the game is floundering, and it just seems like there's no like leadership within that company. And the worst part about all of this is that they filed the lawsuit in Korea, where the company is based out of. So Epic Games, being a U.S. corporation, pretty much had no chance to rebuttal or prepare a defense or anything. They pretty much just got a letter from PlayerUnknown telling them to go fuck themselves and see you in court. Pretty much what happened. It was just stupid. The whole thing is just stupid.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, Epic Games is now fucking. I mean, if they weren't billionaires before, they are now.
Oh, so they could just bleed them dry.
It's not really a problem. They're going to be able to throw money at this and solve it. I mean, the one thing that bothers me is that his name is Brendan Green, PlayerUnknown.
Yes.
The one thing that bothers me from him from the beginning was the fact that he took an indie company, Daybreak, built them a game, basically tested out all of his theories on Battle Royale, then went to a bigger company and made PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Right. And he gets out scotch-free from that. Nobody ever says anything about the fact that he developed H1Z1, tested all of his shit, then took all of that and made a better game called PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, PUBG. And now the fact that he's saying, okay, now nobody else can make Battle Royale. It's like, come on, dude. Yeah. Like, you already scummed it up with H1 and then made your own game. Now you want to take it away from Fortnite too.
Dude's the slimiest, like, motherfucker I have seen in a long time. And this isn't the first time PUBG has tried to strike down so-called copycats. There was that case, like a month or two ago, where they took a mobile game to court. Oh, excuse me, I had to burp. Oh, God, that was weird. Weird burp. Anyway, they took a mobile game to market, and for copyright claims, same reason they're taking Epic Games to court. And a lot of their arguments were that you're not allowed to have frying pans in your game because PUBG owns the concept of a frying pan. And it's just like all this bullshit. This mobile game had like a melee weapon that was a rubber chicken, and their case in court was that this was meant to be a mockery against PUBG's titular line, winner, winner, chicken dinner. So apparently they own that phrase now. It's like, this guy's such a piece of shit.
Okay, so
Winner Chicken Dinner was in H1Z1 first.
Yeah.
Winner Chicken Dinner was in 1940 gangster movies. Come on.
Yeah. No, apparently, guys, I guess you didn't know this. PUBG was invented 50 years ago, and Brendan Green patented all of those thoughts. He created the stainless frying pan, in case you didn't know. That was him.
And so he did this all from inside some testicles.
Pretty much.
He can't be that old. Come on.
Yeah, I know. He's Jesus. I don't know if you knew this, but he is gaming Jesus. He invented everything.
Jesus.
Yeah. God, this guy's such a piece of just. It just sucks because there's clear that there's a section of that development team at Bluehole that's very dedicated to making a quality game and are not terrible people. but the very top end has shown a complete and utter it feels like incompetence almost. Like they just don't know how to handle PR or understand that what they say publicly is going to be so torn apart, and it creates this weird what's the word, distortion of how we perceive the company. Because on one hand, I want to sympathize with the devs who went from indie to suddenly having the most popular game in the world, then having a competitor stomp them out. That's that's a lot to deal with if you're just a coder who used to work for nothing and now you work for one of the biggest games to ever be released ever overnight, right? But then Brendan Green just fuck him at this point, dude. I don't like him. It's just such a weird perception with PUBG nowadays.
Yeah, I think we've nailed it home though.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Okay, so kind of moving away, we got a lot of trailers. A lot of trailer stuff in this episode in general, so we're going to start with gaming trailers. We got the first teaser for Fallout 76, and accompanied by a lot of leaks and some confirmations by Bethesda employees, it looks like this is going to be an incredibly different take on the Fallout franchise. I know, Andrew, you did your reaction, so I'm going to go ahead and give it over to you. Firstly, what were your thoughts about the trailer?
I mean, the trailer really did feel like an old school Fallout game. I really did just enjoy the whole initial feel itself. It just felt like it paid homage to the other games. And I did mention in my reaction that Fallout 76, basically the place 76 was mentioned in another game, and I went back and checked. It was actually Fallout 3. They mentioned Vault 76, the one we're going to be exploring, this one in that game in one of the consoles.
Yep. I was doing a little bit of research about that. Turns out Vault 76 in the lore was a vault that was meant to contain people who 20 years after the bombs dropped were supposed to conquer and repopulate the entirety of humankind. They were meant to be the people who would colonize the planet after everything was done. So I'm not really sure what timeline Fallout 76 will be in, because I believe Fallout 4 is after 3, New Vegas is before 3. The timeline is pretty fucked. So it's kind of hard to tell where we are in terms of what relevant events have happened in the Fallout universe.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Some people I've been seeing online, a lot of the theories are saying that it actually might even be a prequel game. So it might even be before some of the other ones.
Right. I think that's the most consistent understanding of where it should be in terms of timeline. Some interesting stuff that got leaked kind of leading up to the trailer reveal is that supposedly the core gameplay of Fallout 76 is supposed to be built off the concept of the base building infrastructure in Fallout 4, and it's going to be on the Fallout 4 engine, is my understanding. And then also, this is not in any way yet confirmed, but it's been hinted at pretty heavily. Fallout 76 is supposed to be multiplayer, like a co-op game, or even a survival game like Rust.
I did hear that as well. I kept hearing the multiplayer option is going to be something that is available, and I'm like, what? Really?
I'm so down. Super down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down a little bit. I just, I haven't played any of the Fallout series, so it's all Greek to me.
Right. And so the thing is that, obviously none of the Skyrim games, none of the Fallout games have ever had developer-supported co-op. It's always been some kind of weird mod, and it kind of doesn't work all the time. But people have been wanting this forever. And just the concept of rolling through this, the Fallout universe with your Pip-Boy on the radio, all the classic music that's so synonymous with Fallout, but running around with your homie, building your base in the wasteland, and you guys both have giant rocket launchers defending from idiots trying to run up on your base. Rust with a Fallout aesthetic, I kind of really, really like the idea of that. I'm super down with it.
It would be sick. I would be so pumped for that, dude, because getting that, like you said, that just a beautiful Fallout universe that we're used to, all these amazing games we've had. Fallout 4 was gorgeous. Fallout 3 was so much fun, but Fallout 4 was spectacular. It was beautiful.
Right. It's interesting to see a new Fallout game so soon, though. I mean, I think the gap between New Vegas and 4 was 7 years? And Fallout 4 came out 2 years ago. Pretty interesting that they're speeding up.
But Fallout 4, even to this day, is extremely popular. There's such a great story in that, and such a great game all around. It's just a lot of fun. A lot of people hate on Fallout 4 and they prefer some of the other ones, but me, nah, I like 4.
Yeah, no, I'm down. I like. This is kind of like a small tangent, but those survival games are some of my like favorite kind of downtime things to play when I'm not really like trying to focus on grinding out some multiplayer game for a video. Like I love games like 7 Days to Die. I've played tons of Rust, and like H1Z1 Just Survive is pretty fun, and all of those like just there's something very interesting about like following your progress through those types of games where you start off with nothing, you grind for your materials, you farm, you set up your base, you defend, you loot, you search, you feel so part of the world. And I feel like it just so naturally goes with Fallout's like style and theme. I'm kind of surprised they haven't done this sooner. This feels like something that they should have done already, and that makes me even more excited because maybe they've been working on this for a lot longer than we know, and we might get something like truly unique and interesting out of this.
Yeah, this game could have been in development for a super long time, and I mean, if that is the case, I can't wait because imagine just how much detail they're going to put into this world. It's going to be so dope.
Oh yeah, super down. So we also had Andrew. I know this is where you're going to take over big time here. Assassin's Creed Odyssey was also teased this week. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what do we got going on there?
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed is taking its next step, and they are going to ancient Greece. The teaser that we got, I did kind of post a video where I just looped the teaser in slow mo and then regular speed, and it was just a really cool video because it's all it is you just see a Spartan soldier, like a Greek soldier, is kicking the shit out of somebody off the edge of this cliff, and it just gave you that whole Leonidas flashback. So I had to throw Leonidas on the damn thumbnail.
Oh, dude, yep. I mean, this is gonna be a cool timeline for Assassin's Creed because, like, the Greek warriors and the Spartans, like, those are like really well trained, efficient soldiers, and I can see like this being like they can use this setting, I think, to make like the most difficult Assassin's Creed because you're dealing with some of the most militaristic and efficient troops in history.
For real. I mean, and if you think about it, like the what they've been saying about Assassin's Creed Odyssey is that they're going to really roll out more of an RPG style game. They're going to add a lot more elements where you're able to interact with more NPCs, interact with a lot more characters, and do little side quests that never existed before, and really turn it into more of a full around, all around interactive game. So I'm excited because Assassin's Creed Origins was amazing, and it can only get better from here. We're going to get some more naval activity because a lot of the map that did leak out actually has tons of ocean and tons of water. So I'm super excited about that. It's going to be awesome because
love Black Flag.
Oh, I love Black Flag.
Best game of the series. Fight me.
Time. I'd also agree with that. I'm pretty excited for the next Assassin's Creed game. I know it's kind of, I wasn't sure. I didn't play the last one, so I don't know how well received it was, but I do think it's been a little while since we've had like a really, really good Assassin's Creed game. So hopefully this will be the one.
Yeah, I mean, Origin is definitely was the last one, and that was basically the beginning of the Creed back in ancient Egypt, and it was cool because you got to assassinate Caesar and you get to like fuck with Cleopatra and just had a good time, and so there was a lot of really cool elements in that one, and it actually has been like one of the most well received games because it's the first one that actually took a real step forward into changing some of the things that we've always needed changing throughout the series. And so far it's actually like my number 2 because Black Flag is number 1 for me still.
Oh yeah, I think the whole, what sucks about it is that Assassin's Creed has had such a rocky like a couple of years, pretty much since Revelations came out, and how bad of a flop that game was. You know, they've had to deal with trying to dig their their reputation out of the grave, and Origin was definitely a great step forward. I think that they opened themselves up to a lot of interesting stuff by going Greece, and if we don't get like some kind of 300 style battle set piece where we have to like save the Spartans, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Oh, I also think that these characters, like the NPCs and the other soldiers and stuff, we're gonna have to fight. If they really are trained Greek soldiers, I hope they live up to their name because I mean, obviously, like Persian soldiers and some of the Egyptian soldiers weren't really all that trained compared to like the freaking Spartans and
Yeah.
just different Greek training. Like some of the Greek soldiers are, like you said, some of the best in history.
Mm-hmm. And there's
So
like so much in Grecian and Roman military tactics that we even apply to today retroactively. It's like how long it's persisted.
this game needs to be difficult as hell to get
Oh,
through
yeah.
like an army of dudes because
If
these guys are way better trained.
you'll understand this in a moment. It's going to be like the best segue in podcasting history. If this isn't the Dark Souls of Assassin's Creed, I'm going to be very disappointed. Speaking of, you know what else came out this week? Dark Souls Remastered.
Dark
So-
Souls.
Dark Souls 1 Remastered is out now, PC, PS4, Xbox One. And if you've been following the channel, I've been playing through it quite a bit, you know, uploading frequent episodes as much as my sanity can handle. And, oh my god. Okay, so, like, here's my story with Dark Souls, right? I've always been someone who has watched and enjoyed the community and, like, the speedruns for Dark Souls. If you're not into watching speedruns, there's two games I want to recommend right out the gate. It's pretty much any Dark Souls speedrun, and then the Titanfall 2 speedrun from Awesome Games Done Quick, like 2 years ago. That Titanfall 2 speedruns, Last of Us speedrun, also really good. But Dark Souls speedrunning is some of my favorite like entertainment on YouTube. They're amazing. It's so in depth. The games are so synonymously difficult that seeing someone do it proficient and fast is amazing. So I've always been like a passive fan of the series, but I never played the games before. And so when I saw that Dark Souls 1, which is widely considered to be the best game in the series, was getting its remaster, I figured, you know what? I'm going to put myself through this torture and play some Dark Souls. I don't normally play games like this, and I'm fucking hooked. This game is so fucking good.
Now, if you guys haven't seen any of Jack's Let's Plays of that, like his playthrough of Dark Souls Remastered, you need to watch them because they are funny as hell. He
They're
has
getting
a
better.
yes. He gets angry.
I do.
I've heard Jack scream and curse a little bit more than ever
Uh-huh.
in these videos because he just gets mad.
Well,
The rage
okay,
Tosh.
So, you know, when I die on the same boss 17 times because I get stuck in between his legs, pinched against a bridge, what else am I going to do except to let that rage out? Because bottling it up is so unhealthy.
Dude, I watched that episode and I was just falling down laughing because you're like, what the hell? I blocked that. No bullshit. I'd moved out of the way.
My favorite part about editing these episodes was when I believe it was the episode before I finally beat the first boss, and I did that little fade away like grayscale slow motion of me barely getting hit in like the tip of my toe by the boss's tail and dying while I was like in moody silence in between deaths. It's like at the very end of the episode. Love that bit. Yeah, man. I gotta say, you know, my and Jesse's other brother, Justin, has actually been playing the shit more of this game than me. He's like almost all the way through it, and he's really good at it. And I'll be honest, he kind of had to help me out, give me some tips. And so I'll throw it out there, a little teaser. The newer episodes that you'll be seeing over the next couple weeks, they do in fact get better. Turns out I can only stay hot garbage for so long before I become lukewarm garbage. On the road to being not a trash can.
Adaptation.
Lukewarm garbage.
Yep, lukewarm. We're not out of the heat yet. And I will say one other thing, and I was talking about this a little bit with a friend. My goal is with the series, what I want to do is at the very end when I'm done, when I'm like at the point where I'm like completed Dark Souls, I want to go back and kind of take a look at how my impression and gameplay like transformed over the course of the series, because Dark Souls is definitely a game that teaches you by killing you over and over again and telling you to get better. So that's going to be a curious video in retrospect.
Yeah, basically, at what point did I stop sucking?
Yeah, well, sucking less. I think that's probably the best way to put that. Okay, so let me just double check. Do we have anything else gaming we want to do? Oh, yes, one more thing. We're going to go back to Fortnite for just a brief moment. Then I got one thing about CSGO, a little bit of esports for you. So Fortnite, kind of right before all this shit with PUBG happened, announced that they're going to be funding over $100 million into Fortnite esports. Whatever that takes shape in, they're going to be fronting $100 million. And you know what, dude? That's probably just a drop in the bucket for Epic Games at this point. But what I like about this is that this is showing just how much money can be potentially within esports, right? It puts it right up there with some of the overall prize payouts that games like League of Legends and Dota have put out over its lifetime. Like, I think Dota's done like 131 million, and League of Legends is somewhere close to 200 million. So it's pretty crazy.
Let's put it in perspective again. Okay, so the biggest esport on console is Call of Duty for all you console players out of there.
Yep.
Call of Duty puts on a big tournament called COD Champs every year. The prize pool is $1 million. So you could throw 100 COD XP, COD Champ. Bro, I got this. COD Champs, COD XP. You could throw 100 of them in a year, and maybe you'll have enough money.
Yeah. Obviously, it's going to get dispersed out over a lot of different things, but that's a pretty baller move on Epic Games' part to be like, people don't really think of Fortnite as being super serious, but if you pay attention on Twitter every Friday, they get of all people, freaking Keemstar puts on what's called Friday Fortnite, where they get all the best streamers and best quote pro players together, and they do like a Fortnite tournament, and the winner gets like $25,000. So there's already like competitive Fortnite happening, and it's actually pretty interesting to watch. But I think the big note is just Epic Games big dicking it, whipping out their wallet, and just saying, "Here you go wild," and pretty much allowing the community to build esports. It's a pretty big deal.
Hey, you got money, flaunt it.
Yeah, I mean, they probably make more off 12-year-olds buying that new skin every day than they do just throwing this away. So I'm sure, like I said, drop in the bucket.
Oh my God, yeah. My 10-year-old freaking nephew buys lots and lots and lots of skin.
Hey man, say what you want. The game's free, and if you're not Jesse Tibb, the game is fun for the most part. And I'm curious to see what they do to transform it.
I'm not gonna lie. I've played Fortnite. It's entertaining, but it's not for me.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
I'm not a fan.
The competitive format that they are using right now is a joke to me. So I hope that we come up with something a little bit better. Like right now, 2 teams join a match of Fortnite Battle Royale, and they can't kill each other, and whoever has most kills wins. Something like that. And that's just kind of a joke to me.
Well, it's because Fortnite doesn't have fleshed out custom matchmaking yet. And once that happens, then we'll see, as much as I, again, hate PUBG. PUBG already does, tournaments. It's going to be like PUBG-style tournaments. Can't wait for Epic Games to sue them again. So
yeah, but it's still the same problem that Battle Royale has in general. Whoever gets the better spawn wins. Whoever gets the best gun wins. That kind of stuff. Who finds a gold scar first wins. That kind of stuff you cannot get out. Like the best player, let's say Ninja's the best player in the game. Obviously, he's probably not. Let's say Ninja's the best player in the game. He could go into every competitive match and win everyone. No, he couldn't even win 50% of the time because of spawns alone.
Yeah, no, 100%. There's a lot of inconsistencies.
This is why I can't. Okay, you throw $100 million in prize pools, but that game's not a competitive game.
No, but you gotta consider the wider perspective of it, where Fortnite is such a marketable game that's gonna draw a lot of attention into the esports sector, and when inevitably, I don't think the viewer base for a Fortnite league, kind of ripping on Overwatch a little bit there. But a Fortnite League, I don't think that would have the same viewership that you would see consistently with something like CSGO or League of Legends. But what I do think it would do would be drawing a lot of investment and interest into the scene, and that will hopefully spread to other games as well. If nothing else, it just brings more attention to esports as a whole, which I really don't think could be a bad thing.
Guys, I gotta ask you, do you think esports will ever make it to the Olympics?
You know what? Wasn't that the people were trying to get Counter-Strike into the Olympics 2 years ago? I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I remember something about that.
It'll most likely be League of Legends or Fortnite, but it will happen. I think it's going to happen. And actually, maybe not Paris, but maybe Paris. They were talking about it for Paris for League of Legends. 2024.
It's just,
I think people are going to riot over that because so many people will be against that.
I think there's going to be, ping pong is in the fucking Olympics, okay? If ping pong's in the fucking Olympics, I think we can get away with League, would be my initial response to that.
I don't really care what people think about esports because it is a very legitimate sport. If you can call chess a sport, you can call gaming a sport. It's basically the same
I
thing.
agree. I'm right there with you. I'm right there. I think it's a sport. It's difficult.
So if you want more viewers on the Olympics, what do? You take the most popular esport and put it in the Olympics. So it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of time.
I think the thing is that the perspective has changed pretty rapidly over the last 5 years, because 5 years ago, it would have just been kind of laughed out of the room. But now esports has made such like an impactful showing in like not just internet media, but even making jumps to the mainstream, where like ESPN has dedicated columns to esports. They talk about esports on ESPN TV, and TBS runs E-League, which does fighting games and Counter-Strike and a bunch of esports broadcasted to live mainstream television. Like we're already breaking down the walls to where now when you say esports, people don't look at you weirdly. A lot of people understand what it is, and even if they don't like it, people understand that this is like, it's another discipline. Someone who puts thousands of hours into Counter-Strike is just as much an athlete as someone who dedicates their whole life to playing football. They're just different athletes. They dedicated their body different ways to become great at what they do, right?
Well, just coming from a viewership perspective, it's an absolute joke that gaming's not on TV, because you're missing out on huge revenue. The League of Legends finals of 2017 literally doubled the amount of viewers that the NBA finals got live. So when you're talking about double the viewers of the NBA finals, Steph Curry versus LeBron James, it's, Faker versus whoever else he's playing, double the viewers. Like, that's ridiculous.
All right. Here's a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Just an outside the box one. Now, if they did take and put gaming all over the damn TV and like a bunch of different networks, and they all had different gaming events, PUBG, whatever the case, Fortnite, anything, CSGO, whatever, and it was all over that kind of media, do you think the creators on YouTube or other platforms such as Twitch would completely take a dive at that point because they can see it on TV?
No, just look at the numbers of mainstream television versus subscriptions to Netflix or YouTube viewership.
Yes. If they signed exclusivity contracts, yes. Like if the only place you could watch it is on TV, then yes. Like the way Facebook did with Counter-Strike. Was it Counter-Strike? Yeah,
no, it was ESL
or something like that.
Yeah.
If you can only watch Counter-Strike on Facebook, okay, that means I can't watch it on YouTube or Twitter or Twitch. I have to go to Facebook to watch Counter-Strike ESL Pro League. So a lot of people just don't watch. They'll watch the VOD afterwards. I mean, the viewership absolutely went down when it went to Facebook.
Right. But here's the thing, is that we already kind of see what some television companies are understanding. E-League is a great example of this. E-League would broadcast their tournaments on TV but still stream to Twitch because they don't have a contract that says they must exclusively put it on TBS. Because
and if they still stream to Twitch or YouTube, then whoever watches on Twitch and YouTube is just going to stay, and it's only going to add viewers casual people who watch on TV. So that viewership would be lower, and people would still stay Twitch and YouTube for sure.
Yeah, I think TV networks understand that TV as a medium is limping right now, and I think the last thing they would do is close doors to outlets, streaming services like YouTube. Even Twitter is starting to pick up streaming, Twitch, Facebook, whatever. That would just be a big shot to the knee for the TV companies more than the esports organizations, I think.
Well, and you'd kill a game. You could kill a game.
You could definitely kill a game. I think what kind of sucks about that whole mainstream esports discussion is that, in my mind, no matter what, I think Counter-Strike is still like the most legit esport we have. I think it's the most interesting. There's the most
most casually watched. Like it's the easiest to watch as a casual fan.
Yeah, but I think this, at least for me, just not being a fan of MOBAs, I love the way that professional Counter-Strike plays out more than I do professional League. It's kind of transitions well into
it's just
another
less
topic.
Marketable.
It sucks, right? Because we
less
see
marketable and less
terrorists
popular,
versus
so
counter-terrorists. It's just automatically kind of taboo in the mainstream media when it's all about the players versus each other more than it is, oh, he just shot a guy in the head. Yeah, if you made it like paintball guns and he's tagged and out, it would still be professional Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah, but anything with guns and first-person view will always be less marketable than
unfortunately.
Because MOBAs are like completely high fantasy, camera view, over the top. So you're looking at little characters fighting, and yes, there are kills, but there is nothing in the game that says this guy killed this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's not violent.
It's always stuff like eliminated or he's gonna respawn, stuff like that.
Yeah. Sorry, I need a sip of water. But I've been watching a lot more professional Counter-Strike lately. I don't really play the game much anymore because most of my playing hours are kind of behind me as I move to more in a diverse, wider range of games. But I love being a spectator for Counter-Strike still. And just finished up today, actually, when we're recording this, the Star Series Season 5 finals were going on in Kiev. And, excuse me, there is a Counter-Strike professional player by the name of Simple. He plays for Natus Vincere, Navi, and oh my god, this guy is like the best player in the history of Counter-Strike by a country mile. It's like not even close at this point. The dude's like just turned 20, and he's already better than anybody we've ever seen in the history of Counter-Strike, and they won the tournament in convincing fashion with him literally just carrying his team. It was like one of the... I've witnessed some of the greatest games in CSGO history. A lot of the majors, some of the best majors. I've been there and watched live. But just watching how casually this dude just destroys everybody is unreal.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think we all know that Simple is kind of just taking over that title because there has been a little tiny lull in like top players in Counter-Strike lately. Like some of the best teams are kind of taking a dip. Cloud9 won the major. Their team's basically trash right now. SK is kind of falling to the wayside. G2 is a non-factor. Like things like this kind of make a lull in like who's the best player conversation. But Simple's kind of held his form throughout all of that, and he's clearly the best player right now.
Yeah, here are some statistics for just how well he did across an entire tournament where the main format was best of 3 series. He had 20 plus eliminations in every single map. Not just every single series, every single map. He had 20 plus frags. He had an ADR, average damage per round, of over 120, and I think his overall KD was 1.3 across an entire tournament. And it's crazy because the guy does it in every aspect of the game. He's an amazing rifler. He's an amazing pistol player. He's one of the best oppers, if not the best opper in the game right now.
Probably
and the
is
only
the best
thing,
opper in the game.
It probably is. But what's interesting to see play out is that the only thing that's holding him back is that the team of Navi is just like not there. Electronic is okay. Flamey is okay. Edward had a resurgence in this tournament. He actually played very well. But Zeus has been a bot for years.
Yeah.
Okay? Zeus is straight worthless.
Locked into a fucking like 2-year contract.
Yep, he's locked into a death contract with Navi.
SK tried to buy him and he had the buyout and it got shut down. It's like they were going to buy his contract out and he still didn't go through.
You put Simple on any other team and you have instantly probably the most dominant team in Counter-Strike, period, because he'll do 90% of the legwork for you. You just need to sit there and throw a flash and occasionally kill one person and you're good. That's how good he is.
Hide behind a box and just throw shit at people.
Yeah, it's unreal, dude. I've really got to recommend, if you haven't watched Counter-Strike or you missed this tournament, look up the SK versus Navi series that happened 2 days ago. And like Jesse was just saying, SK's actually had a fallen off of form lately. But they were doing okay in this tournament. And then Navi and SK played in an elimination round. And one of my favorite series of Counter-Strike I've watched in a long time. I mean, just a straight slugfest between coldzera, who was another former best player in the world, still incredibly capable player, mind you, and Simple throughout this entire series. The first map, Inferno, they both had 40 plus frags by the same round, and it went to like double overtime. So, just amazing series of Counter-Strike, and Navi just, managed to keep it on, and they won it in 3 maps. Navi won pretty much every series in 3 maps. They would lose a map to pretty much everybody. But at the end of the day, Simple just being such a powerhouse, just overpowered everything. Just incredible to witness. One of my favorite tournaments I've watched in a long time. Any final thoughts here?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's just incredibly dominant. I mean, what else is there to say? I'm kind of looking forward to see how he does once the teams kind of bring up to his level.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check it out.
I mean, I'll shoot you some links afterwards, Andrew. It's worth it. So, that's pretty much all the gaming stuff I got. Oh, actually, no, I don't. We got Destiny 2 is back in the news. We're recording this on the 3rd of June. On the 5th of June at 9 a.m., Destiny 2 is doing their big Year 2 reveal. So what's going to be the big September Taken King S expansion is going to be announced in 2 days. And they just dropped a big update last week with a bunch of reworks, a pseudo Crucible test area, which I know me and Jesse have some good thoughts on, but it looks like this next expansion is going back to the Reef and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think Bungie really needs to deliver like a Taken King caliber story here. I think that's going to be an important aspect to this expansion succeeding.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm excited to see what happens. Destiny 2 is still something that I play on a pretty regular basis. I even kind of jumped on console and played a little bit of it in the last couple weeks. Crucible Labs is kind of a joke, but to go back to the Reef would be really exciting. I really love Destiny 1, so to do anything Destiny 1 related, to bring me the last word back, something like that.
Please, Bungie, one time.
Yeah, I'm down for it too. I really did enjoy Destiny 1. Destiny 2 is a lot of fun, but I haven't had as much like playtime on it. I've played it occasionally here and there,
Right.
but I loved Destiny 1. I played the shit out of that game, so I was always playing that.
Yeah. Well, I know me and Jesse kind of hit this point when we were doing our Warmind review. It's like, what, Jesse, what I'll ask you here is, what do you think still are like the major things that need to be improved, at least in terms of Crucible, when like this big September expansion hits?
I think overall health needs to come down, and I think it needs to come down to where a double melee is a kill. Because I think it speeds up the game. The game's still a little slow. Now, the guns are pretty great right now. I'm not mad at the guns. There's power ammo all over the place. So I'm happy with where the snipers are at, really. I mean, they feel good. I know they're still pretty flinchy, which sucks. PC to console. PC feels great. Console kind of feels like trash. Like subs are basically useless. You know, that kind of stuff on console's a little rough. PC does feel good to play. I'd just like to see time to kill come down just a little bit, and also just kind of maybe bring one or two guns up in the other families. Like maybe bring another gun up to Better Devils level, maybe bring another gun up to Antiope level, something like that.
Right, just kind of a little bit more diversity in terms of what we see in the Crucible. I think for me, the big things that I want to see is that I think the most defined thing about the Taken King was, one, that the story was legitimately compelling. It had a lot to do. It was actually pretty lengthy to get through. And then I remember I was watching a video kind of breaking down the differences between like a Taken King expansion and then something like what we saw in Warmind. They broke down the Taken King into like the story into almost sections, where like the campaign missions set up the main conflict, and then the grind to the end game activities like the raid was like the second act, where you got more lore, more perspective, and you were trying to get to this goal of defeating the big bad. And then the third act would be like the raid and like the end game activities, escalation protocol, whatever, where finally we get like the closure to the chapter and like this kind of like the 60-hour gameplay loop, right? And I want to see them kind of take that formula and use it as a basis, but we create a story we haven't even seen. I want to see like new enemies. I want to see new NPCs. I want the Reef to be involved, but also get more perspective on the Reef. I want this to be like just so out of the box Destiny 2 that we don't even see like the Hive, the Cabal, or the Vex at all. We see only new shit. That's what I want out of this expansion.
I think it's unrealistic to expect that, but I would be excited if it was.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope they would at least see, like, allow it to evolve and at least change in that way, like where you could actually see something change. We're not going to have to see the same shit. I want to see something either improved. I mean, obviously, visiting the same places isn't the end of the world, but why not? Let there be some new stuff.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, I guess just to put it in perspective, like, as Warmind is strong as an expansion because the end game stuff is very fun and very interesting. It takes a lot of time to grind through. Escalation Protocol, the new raid layers, the general grind up to max light right now is very fun and very enjoyable. But like that first act, like we were talking about, the campaign missions and like the start of the expansion, is admittedly, you know, one note and boring. Like the story missions aren't really fleshed out at all, and especially from like a lore perspective, a lot of casual players don't understand just what kind of story Destiny has in its universe, and there's so much interesting stuff that never gets fleshed out fully. And Anna Bray as a character was so like prevalent in the lore in D1, and so hinted as being like this, like the best gunslinger in the history of the Destiny universe. Like at the Battle of the Twilight Gap, her golden gun was so strong that it left pools of light burning there till this day. Like years and years later, that's how powerful she was. And now she's just an NPC, and we don't really get much story from her. You know, it just I just want to see more of it brought into the game. Still, Destiny's story is so interesting, but you have to go out of your way to experience the interesting stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be interesting. Obviously, me and Jesse are gonna break down the year 2 reveal, maybe even react to it. Maybe we'll take a page out of Andrew's book. Who knows? But just throwing it out there. I will say overall, Destiny 2 is in a very fun spot right now, and I think it's only going to get better from here. So if you're still on the fence because some clickbaity ass YouTuber told you shouldn't log in, don't listen to him. You know who you are, and you should log into the game and try it yourself. And that's all I got for gaming. Pretty sure I haven't forgotten anything else. And we're going to move straight into movies. And Jesse, I know that you want to make this the trailer episode, so why don't you pick the first trailer and let's start breaking this down.
Oh, so many choices. Hotel Artemis. I want to start with that one.
All right, what do you got?
Okay, so Hotel Artemis, if you haven't seen the trailer, we'll throw a link in the description below. Basically, this is like taking John Wick's like hotel idea and flipping it on its head and making it way more awesome. So basically, Hotel Artemis is a hospital for villains with very strict rules, very similar to the John Wick Hotel, and I think it's going to be really fun and exciting. And the trailer rocks.
Yeah, the trailer's awesome. It looks like it has a really good blend of where there's going to be some pretty serious moments, some like good action, but also a lot of levity and interplay and like quirkiness between all the characters. Excuse me. Because obviously there's a lot of people, a lot of working parts in a concept like this. So I just hope that they don't try and focus on one aspect of this too much and we get to see kind of like the full picture, you know?
I mean, it's basically taking the best part of John Wick, the secret, like basically like the secret underground version of Assassins, and taking that and building up on it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it looks like it has a lot of people in it, a lot of big names involved with this project. Andrew, what do you got, dude?
I mean, it looks really cool to me. I think it's going to be definitely a blend of John Wick and, I mean, many other movies. Actually, it touches on a bunch of different styles of film. I mean, the trailers, I watched the Red Band trailer the other day, and it just looked so dope. I'm pumped for this film. I think it looks so damn good. I cannot wait. There are so many people in this movie, too.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the old IMDb real quick. So we got Sophie Butella. We got Dave Bautista. Here we go, Dave Bautista. I'm there. Jodie Foster, Jeff Goldblum, because Jeff Goldblum's in every movie ever. You know,
he's having a reconnaissance.
Dude.
He is having a reconnaissance. 100%.
I mean, some other just kind of looking down the list, see if there's any more notable names kind of popping out. Not really, but I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie, a lot of characters. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they all play out and how many we get to see at like any one time.
Let's burn through these. I think the next one I want to talk about is Mission Impossible 6. Okay, so if you have not watched any of the Mission Impossible movies, what are you doing with your life? Number 2, 4, and 5 were literally incredible. And 6, building upon 5, basically keeping the same guy, the Syndicate guy, I can't remember his character's name. They're keeping the Syndicate, and he's going to basically break free and take down Ethan Hunt. That shit looks exciting. Henry Cavill's mustache was worth whatever we lost in fucking the Justice League. 100% worth. I'm excited for that, though. The trailer looks really good.
Okay, back to that. We're not. Yeah, it wasn't worth it. It was horrible.
100% worth it. I'd much rather keep a mustache than worry about Justice League.
Oh man, my favorite part about this trailer is just how instant a meme it became. There's a shot in the trailer where Henry Cavill is just running train on people, and he like shakes his arms. And there's just a great meme where people are like, God, you know, the new Tom Cruise movie looks pretty good. Henry Cavill reloads his arms in one of the trailers. And I just can't get that shot of him shaking his arms out of my mind.
It makes like a sound, too, like click, click, and like it's time to the music, you know?
It's like he just legit reloads his arms, dude, 100%. His fists are too powerful. He needs to load in some fresh bones.
I literally just watched that part right now. I was rewatching it.
So
and
good.
He goes, doom, doom. Boom, 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 boom,
and he just starts beating the shit out of a guy.
he's just got bullets in his arms. And he just punches them through you.
Okay, at what point is Tom Cruise going to be too fucking old to do these movies?
Never.
Never. Tom Cruise is
never too old.
Tom Cruise is one of the people they replaced.
No, never. They tried to do it with Renner. They tried to do it with Jeremy Renner, but like Ghost Protocol was such a huge hit. They're like, oh fuck it, we'll make another one. And they make another one. They're like, oh fuck it, another one. You know, because they're
plus
4 and 5 were insanely good.
I don't know what Tom Cruise you're looking at either, because he still looks like he's young. I think Tom Cruise might be a secret warlock, and he's actually sucking the life force out of us whenever we watch his movies, and that's how he maintains his youthful complexion.
Yeah, he's like Keanu Reeves. You've seen those pictures of Keanu Reeves as a vampire from like 3,000 years ago.
Yeah, dude, there it is. Proof.
There it is.
Confirmed. Ryan Reynolds just laughs his way into eternal youth.
Okay, speaking of Jeremy Renner, since we're talking about trailers, there is a trailer that I've watched like 5 times because it is so goddamn funny, and it is called Tag.
Tag, yes.
Oh, I've seen this.
This movie is going to be fucking hilarious.
Is it like a 30-year game of tag or something?
30
years. What a great like premise for a movie.
And
I love
Jeremy Renner has never been tagged.
Never. Yeah, Hawkeye has never been tagged.
Yeah, and that they show that. I love that trailer. Like at the end of the trailer, the dude's just rushing him out on the altar, and he just like steps back, and he's like never
sidesteps him.
Never been tagged.
It's so good. It's so good. I remember seeing the trailer for the first time when I saw Deadpool 2 for the first time, which we'll get to. And my friend was like, dude, if you haven't seen the trailer for this, you have got to be ready because it is so good. I was not disappointed. There's no way this movie is not funny as hell. Like, there's no way.
Oh my god.
Premise alone. Yeah. My last thing on Mission Impossible. My whole thing is that I can never kind of get over Tom Cruise being the most badass person in the history of the world. So
the fact that he does those stunts as real. Like, he does them as real as possible. I mean, gotta love it.
Dude, Tom Cruise is like the consummate action hero. Yeah.
The Mission Impossible Fallout trailer has 22,717,723 views. Holy shit.
That tells you that they're gonna make another one, and it's gonna start Tom Cruise.
It's only got 6,000 dislikes. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah, dude, because how can you hate Tom Cruise? It's impossible. Again, he's a warlock. He has a spell over us. It's a conspiracy, and it's impossible to hate Tom Cruise.
I can't wait for the next Jack Reacher flick.
Those 5,580 people that disliked this damn video are those 5,880 people that watched Vanilla Sky.
There you go. Confirmed. You know, as much as the Mission Impossible movies as of late have been fantastic, I think Jack Reacher is on a pinnacle of its own. I love Jack Reacher. Movie is so good. Book's pretty good too.
That's the movie that brought him back in my eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Cruise never left in my eyes, but I'm a Tom Cruise fanboy. So.
I lost faith. Like, I love Tom Cruise back in the day. Jerry Maguire, the first Mission Impossible. I love that era of Tom Cruise.
Whoa! Third Mission Impossible as well.
Hey, hey! All Mission Impossible.
Okay, Mission Impossible 2 is a joke, but third Mission Impossible is great.
Mission Impossible 2 is garbage. Mission Impossible 3 is pretty cool.
There you go.
Mission Impossible 4 is total garbage.
Are you out of your mind?
I did not like it at all, dude. Wow. I'm sorry.
That's it. We're fighting right now. Take the gloves off.
Okay.
Go on. Put them up. But it's like
there were parts I liked. There were parts of that movie I liked, but for me, I kept feeling like Tom Cruise was scratching his nails on chalkboard the whole movie. I don't know.
This man climbed the fucking thing in Dubai. And it was legit. He is hanging off that building in Dubai in real life.
I know, and I respect him as an actor, but I just didn't enjoy the fourth movie. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Well, I just want you to know that you're entitled to your opinion, even though it's wrong. You're entitled to it.
It is the incorrect opinion, but that's okay.
It's like, I think this at some point they'll just have to snuff the series. They'll have to kill off. Those have to finish Mission Impossible by the time Tom Cruise is sick of doing it, because nobody else can step in and do it. He's so synonymous with that role. Just like it's hard to picture a modern 007 not being Daniel Craig. It's kind of like the same way. He's
I'll
so
take
typecast.
Okay, I will take Idris Elba.
I'll take Idris Elba at everything.
Oh, I'll take Idris Elba too, but for me, it's Pierce Brosnan is always going to be Bond. I'm
talking modern Bond.
Yeah, modern Bond though has got to be Daniel Craig.
Because I mean, if we're going the consummate Bond, I'm gonna go Sean Connery and beat you every time in that argument.
To be honest,
Sean Connery.
But me personally, I consider Daniel Craig a more modern Bond, but so is Pierce Brosnan. Technically, I mean, he was a Bond until what, 2004?
I saw that one with him, and is it him and Halle Berry? I think it's that one.
Was it GoldenEye?
The GoldenEye was 95.
Second one. Yeah.
GoldenEye was 95.
I'll tell you what it was. Die Another Day. That movie was absolute hot garbage.
Yeah.
I remember when that movie first came out on DVD, because when it first came out on DVD, it was only like $6 because that shit was garbage.
I just remember Halle Berry coming out of the ocean when I was like 12, and I was like, all right, I'm feeling this movie.
Okay, I'm good. I'm there.
This movie's speaking to me.
Even grown-up me is okay with this.
On my wall.
No way, really?
I did. It was Halle Berry coming out of the ocean, and
it's iconic, dude.
Yeah, dude, iconic.
And then I had a poster of I had the upside down kissing scene, Spider-Man, Cameron Diaz, or not Cameron Diaz, Kristen. Fuck, what can I think of?
Kirsten Dunst, right?
Kirsten Dunst.
I think it is Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, wow. But the upside down wet T-shirt, I had that poster.
Oh, that's a must-have. Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I blocked out the other half, and I kind of like stuck a picture of me upside down right there. So
there you go.
Nice. Nicely done. You know what? Kind of talking Daniel Craig Bond movies for a second. You know what sucks is that the only thing I remember about like the most recent one, Spectre, was like the Rube Goldberg opening scene in Spain when he just like runs through like 15 different buildings falling apart, and it's just like, I get it, James Bond is, a badass, but he also isn't psychic. It's just, I want a really, really good James Bond movie to kind of come back, and I don't know if it's going to be Daniel Craig.
Skyfall was pretty incredible.
Skyfall is great.
Bond movie, right?
Yeah, like a more serious Bond movie, maybe. I don't know, something kind of more hardcore, like John Wick-esque. That would be pretty dope.
Why is John Wick the line now that everyone compares everything?
Because John Wick's fucking great. That's why.
Okay, wait. What should be said is that John Wick action scenes are incredible. The actual film John Wick's okay. Like the motivation's great. Like guy kills his dog, he goes out, kills everybody for it. But the action scene, like that scene in his house when he takes out like the 15 goons that are coming to kill him, that shit's incredible. That's the standard. That shit, like some of it's long take, some of it's quick take, and it's great.
I mean,
dude,
to be
the
fair,
camera shots in that scene alone are hardcore, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I just want more.
They said Keanu trained for 6 months.
Dude, you ever seen the Twitter video of Keanu doing like the shooting range where he runs through with like an AR and shoots 15 targets, whips out a pistol, gets another 10, whips out a shotgun out of a barrel and takes out more? Like, he was serious.
Yeah, no, he's killing that.
Yeah. My point is, I guess I should have clarified a little better, is I think just in general, I want more action movies to take the care and attention to their action scenes that the John Wick movies had. Because, like...
So every action movie needs to be compared to John Wick.
Yes, 100%. And if you do not have the action that compares...
I would use Kingsman as a standard as well. I mean, Kingsman Secret Service, that Freebird scene where that guy fucking, what's his face? I can't remember. Takes all of everybody out.
Oh my god.
That shit's incredible.
Top 10 movie scenes of all time.
A bunch of cuts that are hidden and to make it look like a one take.
Oh, so good. Hey, but, it's like... Okay, I got one more thing.
I wanted to tell you, there's one part of, like, I've been recently, like, you guys have known that I've been recently watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And there is a part in that like just a lot of the John Wick scenes make me think of where one of the dudes gets killed, and it just reminds me of how Keanu just tears motherfuckers apart.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I was watching like, holy shit, is that Keanu? Because he has like a dark beard, and I'm like, holy crap. No.
The big war battles in Game of Thrones are so incredibly well done from like a directing standpoint. There's no doubt. I think just the thing is, I just think that like well shot action is like it's starting to show just how good it can be. Like you think about like Batman v Superman was a dumpster fire overall, right? But that scene where Batman goes into the warehouse and straight up just decimates 15 people and like puts some dude's head through the fucking floor.
Bro.
That scene is fantastic. I don't care how bad the rest of the movie is. I don't care if my mom is named Martha, but that whole scene is so good. I can just let go of the rest of the movie being bad.
What an absolute tease that scene is. We were like, oh my God, we're going to get a Batfleck movie where he does that shit to people, and then it never happened.
No.
What's the...
feels so bad.
Yeah. What's the two popular like martial arts movies that people keep comparing to that scene? I forget what they're called. CinemaSins references them all the time.
I could have told you until you said that.
That's gonna bug me. The Raid and the Raid 2.
The Raid 2.
Oh, yeah. Raid 2, yeah.
If more action movies had Raid-esque scenes, because John Wick takes a note from Raid, that Batman scene absolutely takes a note from Raid. I mean, just the world would be a better place. That's where that ends. So. A trailer me and Jesse just watched before we started filming this podcast, recording, whatever, was a movie called Kin. And this movie was not on my radar at all. First time I saw the trailer.
Heard of it until today.
But giant space guns with Tron lasers, I'm there. It's called Kin. K-I-N.
Yeah, like family.
Yeah. Okay. The synopsis is... a young child finds like an alien weapon in an empty warehouse, and then he saves his brother with it, and now the aliens are back, and they have like really cool technology, and they're hunting them down, and just like it's a badass trailer.
I don't think they're aliens. I think they're people from the future.
Whatever.
It's
very
Dennis
unclear.
Quaid.
Dennis Quaid,
Yes,
James Franco,
the rookie of the year himself.
We'll just pull this up. We've got James Franco.
Not rookie of the year. Not rookie of the year. The rookie.
The rookie? Okay, the rookie.
Ooh.
Fine.
Rookie of the year was that little kid.
He didn't break his arm.
Chicago Cubs.
He didn't break his arm and sew it back together the wrong way.
And then crazy. No, I'm watching it right now. It looks crazy.
Oh my God, it looks really cool. I'm really excited. Like just the future tech. It's got like a real Tron vibe. But yeah, I'm excited.
Definitely.
It's got that sweet
what
aesthetic to it. You know?
Holy crap.
James Franco, man, where has he been, by the way? Because there was like a point in like 2013 where James Franco was in like every movie ever. He was pulling a Jeff Goldblum, and then he just kind of disappeared for a couple years.
He crawled up Seth Rogen's ass for a little while.
Yep, everyone's done that at least once.
But I'm crawled up Seth Rogen's ass.
Yeah, I mean it's just kind of like a rite of passage.
Rite of passage.
Same.
I mean, he was in like nothing notable for like the last couple. I mean, he was in the obviously he was Tommy Wiseau in The Disaster Artist, which by the way, fantastic. But that was like the last big thing he's been in. He's kind of been under the radar, not doing his James Franco isms, and it looks like he's gonna be pretty front and center in this movie. I'm pretty hyped for that.
Should be interesting at the very least.
This freaking trailer is crazy.
Yeah, I love that trailer. It's a solid trailer. And they have that like scene where like it shows like what happened in the past, and it's like straight out of The Division.
Dude, oh my God, yes. The future guys are like scanning the room to figure out where the gun went, and it's straight out of The Division. I don't care. I want to know right now, whoever's directing this movie, that has to be inspired by The Division. It has the exact same look. It's got the orange like holograms and everything. It's got
it. No, it's like exactly the same. Somebody's played The Division then.
PlayerUnknown's is gonna find a way to sue.
Yes.
This is ridiculous, but it looks so dope. I'm pumped for it.
I hope the score continues that Tron theme throughout. Also, unpopular opinion, the Tron movie from like 4 years ago, I thought it was good. I know everyone hated it.
I also feel the same way. I know everybody hates that shit, but I love it.
Guys,
Tron Legacy. God, that was 2010? Jesus.
No, it was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
I hated Tron Legacy.
It's okay. You're in the popular conscience there.
It's okay. You're also wrong.
No, you're not wrong. We're wrong, but I'm not mad at it.
Hey, okay. I got movies like that for me too. Like there's a movie, no matter how bad anyone ever tells me it is, I don't care. I love that fucking movie, and that is The Monster Squad from like back in the 80s.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, I will watch that movie.
I'll give it a watch.
I've already talked about it several times, but I will defend Chronicle until the day I die because I think
Chronicle's great. Chronicle's great though.
Chronicle gets no love. It's unbelievable, dude.
I think it's because it's the POV style.
Oh, found footage, right? But it's like found footage with superheroes. Like that, you got me, and like just like the ending, and I'm gonna go off about Chronicle again.
Hey,
But the final fight in Chronicle is so good.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Same.
What's that movie that it's another, I think, well, not found footage, but it's the one where the kids like create like a time machine basically, and they go back in time and they go to Woodstock and they go to all kinds of these random ass places, and then the kid goes back and he sees himself in a picture at his 5-year-old birthday as like a teenager in the background. What was that fucking movie called?
I don't know, but it sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan plot twist.
This is hitting a chord for me. Like I saw it and I remember feeling weird about it, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
Yeah. Oh my God. Why can't I think of the name? Now I gotta type it in because
Kind of sounds like a horror movie. I don't know why, but that like description kind of gave me like horror or thriller vibes.
It made me feel weird.
I don't feel comfortable. Okay, I guess we'll take a look at this. Jesse, what other trailers are we gonna talk? What was it called?
Was it called Primer?
No, it was Project Almanac.
Oh,
Project Almanac. Yes.
Project Almanac.
Damn.
Yes, okay. I remember this. I remember feeling so weird in that movie. I couldn't tell you how I felt about it, but I felt
it
weird.
It was good, but it was freaking odd.
It puts me on edge when people play with time like that in movies. It makes me feel like strange about it.
Well, and to see all the crap that the kid ended up screwing up in the end and destroying all his friends' lives, and he just felt that, and like, oh, dude, that shit trips me the fuck out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, God, what else? Okay, so this trailer came out very recently too. Sicario is getting a sequel. And
I do not know how this movie can get a sequel, but I am interested. Sicario 1 is a great watch, but I never want to watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great watch, but you know why you should watch Sicario 2? Josh Brolin's in it.
Well, he's in Sicario 1.
Yeah, but Josh Brolin's in it. Dude, Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro.
Okay, Benicio del Toro carries Sicario 1. Emily
100%.
Emily Blunt's great, but his like quiet demeanor from like, you have no idea what his deal is. Then you think, okay, he's a crazy hitman. Okay, no, wait. He's a crazier hitman who's after to kill this guy who's in the cartel who killed his family. And that scene with him when he goes to the dinner and he kills the guy's family in front of him and then him is so tense. There's no way you can carry that into a sequel, but I am interested.
Dude, Sicario can be just tagged as the movie that'll make you butt clench so hard you might create a black hole beneath your seat from just like the latent pressure of how tense that movie is. I mean, well, you want to talk about consummate action scenes, by the way. The bridge set piece in Sicario?
Wow, that's great.
Whew!
Quality.
Oh my god. God, so yeah, Sicario 2, interesting. I'm not really sure like where they go from here, like what the major plot line is going to be, but you got Josh Brolin, Benicio del Toro. I will be there. Benicio del Toro, by the way, he's another one of those Jeff Goldblum actors where he's kind of just like he's in so many movies and he's in so many memorable movies.
I do have no idea why he was in Star Wars, but I'm interested to see what they do with that character.
Hey, I'm just gonna throw it out there. He was my favorite part about The Last Jedi. That wasn't Rey and Kylo killing all the Red Guards.
Not your favorite part, then.
Well, he's my favorite part that wasn't Kylo Ren chopping a Red Guard in half. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's kind of hard to beat. Okay.
Same.
God, Jeff Goldblum is my spirit animal. Does everyone know that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. It's a very good spirit animal to have.
Jeff Goldblum.
My spirit animal is Kylo Ren shirtless, Ben Swole. It's my favorite meme of all time.
Same.
I just love when they make him like super wide, but his head like super small. It's so good. It's
Vern Troyer, spirit animal. Miss that little bastard.
I still don't. Now that it's been a little while, I know we're going all over the place about movies, but hey, it's a podcast. Deal with it. But now we've had Last Jedi around for a little while now, and it's kind of like settled down. I don't think it's as bad a movie as people make it out to be at all. I actually still think it's probably my favorite of the new movies.
I don't know. Force Awakens holds a special spot for me. I like
fair
J.J.
enough.
Abrams' style of filmmaking, especially with the mystery box.
Yep.
So it was interesting to have Ryan Johnson come in and kind of, to put it best, Kevin Smith said it best. He basically, there's moments in The Last Jedi where it's like you just picture Ryan Johnson going, "Fuck you, JJ. Here's this. Oh, Ray's parents, they're nobody. Fuck you, JJ." You know, it's like shit like that. You know, that happens a lot in The Last Jedi. It's like, okay, take some chances, but like, Jesus Christ, man, do you have to shit on everybody?
I mean, maybe I will
We didn't
tentatively
get to the
say
Jar Jar moment though. Come on.
I know.
Sure.
Well, the scene. Okay, the first scene, like one of the few first scenes of the movie, is when Rey sees Luke, and it's the same scene from Force Awakens. And she goes to hand the lightsaber, and at the end of Force Awakens, Luke's got this crazy look on his face, like he knows something. And then you go to Last Jedi, she hands him the lightsaber, he looks at it, he tosses over his shoulder. It's like Kevin Smith's like, "That's a fuck you, JJ moment." I was like, "Yeah, it is. That's 100% a fuck you, JJ moment."
It's a great moment,
dope
though.
was going to happen here, and Mark Hamill just threw a lightsaber over his shoulder.
Okay,
You know?
I'm sorry, but that was still, I laughed my ass off though.
It was funny.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if the complete movie is fantastic, but there are points that might be some of my favorite in all of Star Wars, and I'm willing to throw that out there as much as I know that the internet will slowly but surely hunt me down for saying that. But there are, like, okay, I'm sorry, but the Red Sand battle between Ghost Luke and Kylo is so good. There's great tension. That scene where Kylo's just losing his shit inside the AT-AT. I'm sorry. I love a lot of the stuff in this movie. I don't know if the movie is a film. The movie as a film is probably just too long, and there's some stuff they definitely should have cut out. But there are just so many good moments in The Last Jedi that I think overall I'm in the love it place with that film. I know a lot of people don't like it.
I like it.
I like it. I mean, I think it's good, and I don't have any bad sayings about it. I don't have anything bad to say about it. It was enjoyable. It was actually a lot of fun, and there are parts of it that I wish were a little different. But I mean, all in all, it was great. I liked it. I had a good time with it.
Yeah. Still haven't seen Solo yet, and I'm a little bit worried from seeing what other people have said about it. Not gonna lie. Have you seen it yet, Andrew?
I have not.
Okay.
Me neither.
But
Yeah.
I hear that Donald Glover is the only good part.
Yeah, but Donald Glover's gonna be great no matter what.
Yeah, come on, dude. Donald Glover has 5 minutes in The Martian, and it's probably the best stuff in the movie.
And yeah, that's good for two people who love the book religiously.
And the movie.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, dude, you put Donald Glover anywhere and you give him 3 lines, he's gonna make them the best 3 lines in the movie.
They need to just quit screwing around. Marvel needs to pull their heads out of their asses, and they need to give Donald Glover the role as Miles Morales.
It's too late. They gave him his uncle.
Yeah.
He's cast as his uncle in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
But okay,
it's
so here's
way
the thing.
too late.
Here's my big Marvel plot twist theory. It turns out that Donald Glover is actually Thanos. He is the real chosen one.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say something very insightful, and you do.
Nope. No.
You basically just rickrolled me.
Yes.
Not happy about it.
How do you feel about it?
Not great.
Okay, understandable. We got any more trailers, Jess? Anything I'm missing?
No, I think we're there. We probably talked for way too long.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any guidelines on how long a podcast should be, and if you think it's too long, then you know what? Sorry.
Timestamps below, boys.
No, I will not timestamp, okay? You already make me edit and take the 7 hours to render and upload this fucking thing out of my own sweet free time.
I will timestamp it below, boys.
I guess real quick, we should just do kind of a quick thing on Deadpool 2. Just throw it out there. We are going to do a full review on Deadpool 2. We're just kind of, a little lazy, I'll be honest. But me and Jesse, everyone here has seen it, yes?
Yep.
Okay. Just kind of quickie thoughts. Just a little soundbite. What'd you think of Deadpool 2?
When Deadpool is grabbed up by... What's his face? What's this guy's name? Cable. When Cable is snagged up Deadpool in the prison, and he says, "Who are you?" and Deadpool says, "I'm Batman," I literally laughed my fucking ass off.
Dude,
I never laughed harder. I turned to Jack and said, "Did he just say I'm Batman?"
Yes.
And he did say, "I'm just Batman." It's great.
Okay. My favorite part was there were so many great parts of the movie, but my favorite part was actually an after credit scene
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
classic.
when when Deadpool goes around to correct all the mistakes.
Hands
Yeah,
down,
he goes back
best
and
after
kills
credits
the
scene of all time.
Deadpool. I love when he goes and kills the Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine. Then he goes and kills Ryan Reynolds before he makes fucking Green Lantern.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it says
great.
"You're welcome, Canada."
Oh my god, it was fucking great. When that part
So
happened, I was
good.
falling out of my chair.
Yeah, I actually have a pretty good story about that. So I've seen Deadpool 2 twice. I saw it with a good friend of mine first before I saw it with the fam. And we didn't think there was going to be a second end credit scene, so we were walking out of the theater when it cut back to Negasonic Teenage Warhead fixing the time device, whatever it's called, the wristwatch. And we were already like almost out of the theater, and then we heard it come back, and we just everybody, there was like a crowd of 20 people at the door, and we just all turned and ran back in. Almost missed it the first time through, but man, so good. I think my the prison fight scene when Cable first shows up is probably some of my favorite bits in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. That whole fight scene's so good. When he's like, I only got 3 questions to ask you, and one of them is dubstep still popular? And then Josh Brolin punches him, and Bangarang comes on for like 30 seconds. I died, and they bring it back a second time, dubstep again. It's just like it's so good. It's so good. My favorite reference. I'll just get this out of the way real quick. Is after the big fight when we first see Juggernaut on the train, and Ryan Reynolds is ripped in half and he's growing back his baby legs. Was probably that whole scene's just fantastic. But when Cable first shows up to team up with him, he's like, wow, both our moms' names are Martha. Like ripping on fucking Batman v Superman. That one killed me, dude. So good. All right, what do you got,
Ryan
Andrew?
Reynolds
Sorry about that.
is a fucking genius, dude.
He pretty much co-wrote this, no? Like he had his hand in a lot of the writing.
He has a co-writing credit, but I would say it's mostly joke stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
it's mostly
Dialogue.
improv, probably.
It's mostly dialogue that he's getting credit for. I doubt that he has anything to do with the plot.
Yeah, I would assume not. But God, dude, it's so clear how much he wants to make Deadpool so good every time and make it like the most popular superhero character because he obviously has such an attachment to the character. But man, I will even confidently say it now. I think that he is almost more synonymously made to be Deadpool than Robert Downey Jr. is made to be Iron Man. Like that's just how well he fits Deadpool. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. He is Deadpool, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. That's
Okay,
why
so-
the stuff with him in person, like when he does the tour to promote the movie, when he shows up on, like, he thinks he showed up on like one of the late shows.
Yeah.
And he was dressed up as Deadpool, and that kind of stuff plays so well because he can just improv it, and it is Deadpool. Like anything he says, even if it's not scripted, it feels like Deadpool because he's that character.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, plot twist, he actually is Deadpool and can't die, which would go with my theory that Ryan Reynolds doesn't age because, dude, the guy still looks amazing for, he's like 50, isn't he? Or like in his 40s?
45 or something like that.
He's getting on, but he's still jacked out of his mind. Josh Brolin is shredded, and Josh Brolin's old. Like, good lord, man. Okay, so we'll break it down more in a separate video. But I guess just real quick, if you guys were going to give it like a score out of 10, what would you guys give Deadpool to?
9.
Andrew?
Solid 10.
Dude, I'm right there with you. Solid 10. Seeing it twice, I was gonna think that the jokes wouldn't be as good knowing them, and then seeing them like knowing when they were gonna pop up. But the jokes were still just as fine the second time. And I'll break this down in the review. But there's a lot of stuff going on like subtly in the background that is so much more appreciated in more viewings. So I think this is gonna be more watchable than Deadpool 1. You're gonna be able to rewatch Deadpool 2 a lot more, I think. And that's kind of where I sit on it. Any last thoughts?
Deadpool's great. Can't wait to watch the second time.
Yeah, dude. X-Force.
Heck
When?
yeah, me too.
Why?
X-Force.
How? Where? X-Force. Yes. God, I love when the guy, when
wait, one last
Shatterstar
thing.
gets killed by the helicopter.
One last thing. When Domino has the scene where it shows her power as
So good.
Luck, and he's talking about how it's not very
Uncinematic.
cinematic. So Luck as a power, that's so great because that's like always been a complaint about Domino's. Like, how are you going to film Domino being lucky? And they did it perfect. I think that played so well.
and she's a badass. I don't know. I've never seen her in another movie. I think her name's Zazie Beetz or something like that.
Yeah,
and
same.
she is dope. She's might be one of my favorite parts about the movie. Besides, Ryan Reynolds does Ryan Reynolds in every movie. Just now it's Deadpool. Okay, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Obviously, if you guys want to submit topics, we're going to be doing it every 2 weeks is Nerd Meltdown. So if you want us to talk about anything, hit us up on Twitter, leave a comment on the video, you know, send smoke signals. You guys can get a hold of us. It's not hard. I promise, especially because nobody follows me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. And other than that, make sure you, yeah, in the description, right there. Just click the box. All the Twitters. You should follow them all. Definitely follow them all. And make sure you hit the like button, subscribe for more. This has been another episode of Nerds Meltdown. My name is Jack. That's Andrew. That's Jesse. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
Yo.